Hi everyone, this is a salvage section. There's a couple of harps, I've got time to do them both, but have been made up with bits and pieces from different manufacturers, etc, etc. The first one is it's basically Hohner MS blues harp comb, Hohner Big River reed plates with special 20 type covers on. The comb I've done something a little bit different with. I don't know if you can see it, I'll get it close enough. I put a metal finish on the in the lacquer, and done a real cheap and cheerful way. It's a bit splodgy in places, but it just looks a bit different. And that was done by put a couple of coats of lacquer on there while they're wet. Sprinkle the brass filings from where you've reshaped your reed plates onto that lacquer, let it go off, and then lacquer over the top. Silly, I know, but it was just something different. The covers are the special 20 type. They're actually off a jambone, and the reason why is I had some jambone covers. I've also got special 20, but these jambone ones are a brass based metal. They don't rust. You don't get any rust patches on them. So I had a set of those kicking about, so I put those on there. It did mean re-drilling to position these screws because it's, as you can see, they're slightly forward to the closer to the front of the harp. Had to change a couple of reeds in the Big River plate. The 4 and 5 drawer were gone. While they were in the Big River, I tried them, and there's a whole lot of the reeds that were working. They leak like hell, and I don't know why. There's on a Big River harp, like most MS plastic body harps, got 2 screws at the back and then one down through, I think it's time 5. On the wooden bodied MS harps, you don't get anything holding the front down at all. I tend to put 1 through time 3 and 1 through time 7. That's so I put a couple of BA bolts down in there with nuts on. So there are now 4 bolts holding the plate down, your 2M bolts, and it's pretty airtight. One problem you do have working on MS reed plates is that the reeds are shorter than a normal harmonica. In fact, if you were looking, if you didn't have an MS plate to take reeds from, and you were going through your old reed plates looking for a reed, if you were trying to change, say, a 4 drawer, you'd be looking for a reed from a 5 slot on another harmonica, and even then you'd have to trim it. They're also slightly thinner across the reed than most harmonicas. And what I do, if I can just show you quickly, this is a pretty crude method, but if the reed is, there's your reed there, and I'm talking about across here, this profile across here, they're a little bit narrower. So what I do is I take a little sharpening stone like that, up and down, do it for a count of 5 or 10, and the same there until that reed will fit through the slot. Very crude. I suppose the purists are throwing their hands up in horror, but it does work. As you'll hear, it's 4 and 5. That's the 5 draw, and that's the 4 draw. Crude way of doing it, but it does work. And obviously I had to screw these reeds in because I didn't have anything that matched up. The holes in the reeds wouldn't align with the holes in the Hohner plate. But from 3 different old harmonicas that were sitting doing nothing, I now got a perfectly usable harmonica. I've embossed the reeds and gapped them and arced them a little bit, and it's pretty good. It's not the greatest harp in the world, but it's perfectly playable and usable. It's a lot better than some brand new harps I've had out of the box. It's it's quite a nice tone. It's not a bad harp. It's better than having 3 old bits and pieces sitting around doing nothing. Now I have another harp that's a mix and match. You'll remember I showed you that dreadful A blues harp that was unplayable, and I did do some work on it and put it back together, and it was still awful. And then I took it all down again. I'd already changed 5 reeds, and there were about 4 more that wanted changing. Well, it was just I don't like giving up, but I did give up on it. I took the reed plates and slung them in the clunker box. So now I had, as you remember, I'd done the body and I'd done the covers, and I had the harmonica with everything but the reed plates. And I thought, well, what am I going to do? What can I put in there? Well, this is what I've ended up with, and I don't know if you can see that the reed plates in this are not brass. So what it was, I had at some time bought a spare set of plates for a Suzuki Bluesmaster, and so I had a set of old plates, and these in here are the ones that are on a white metal, like it looks like steel, but it's not, with the welded reeds. They're spot welded through, they're not riveted, so there were a couple of reeds missing, the 5 drawer? Yeah, 2 drawer and 5 drawer, so I thought, well, I'll make the effort and sort some reeds out for that. And believe it or not, the reed plate from the Suzuki is almost the same, exactly the same size as an MS Hona reed plate. So all it wanted was a bit of drilling to fix it down, to put 2 bolts through the back, 2 through the tines, reshape the end slightly, and I used the original blues harp covers. So I've now got if you like, a Suzuki Bluesmaster on a wooden comb, and again, not a bad harp. It's a different sound to the Hona MS plate. It's slightly brighter and sharper, but again, you know, that was an MS comb and a Suzuki Bluesmaster set of plates. For, you know, two harps that were sitting doing nothing, there's now 1 good harp. I'm pretty certain it's absolutely unique. I doubt very much whether there's another one of those in existence anywhere, but wait on, the mic's picking me up. It plays quite nicely. It's no, it's not bad at all. It's quite a little it can be done, you know, if you've got old bits and pieces, if you can use a drill. You might need a drill stand, which isn't a great deal of money. I think I paid £5 for one. You know, how much is a Suzuki Bluesmaster? 24, 25 quid. A blues harp's about 22, 23 pound. Those two harmonicas, if you wanted to go out and buy a couple of A harps, either Suzuki Bluesmaster or the Hona blues harp, they're going to cost you best part of 45 quid. 30 or 40 pence for screws and lacquer, and there's a couple of harps there. What more can I say? Again, go to the sites of the people who show you how to do these things. Dave Payne, Chris Michaelette, go and have a look, find out, you save yourself some money.